Hey guys, how are you doing? Thank you for tuning in to Hey Bro.
And hey sis, it's been a while, we know. We've not disappeared, but we've been dealing with...
Yes. Oh,
It's actually so true. We feel it internally.
yeah, it's been really hard to talk about what has happened.
Well, our friend died.
Yes, that's what happened. And it's been really hard, you guys, and even harder to think about what his loved ones must be going through.
It's so hard.
Yeah, I mean, because we know that he's with God now, and we do rejoice in that, right? Best place ever. But it doesn't just magically take the grief away. It doesn't just disappear, and it definitely doesn't invalidate grief.
Yep, exactly. So if you are grieving and people are telling you not to, tell them don't be a dodo.
Yeah, but you're allowed to paraphrase, of course.
Sure, of course. Well, I lost my mom about 10 years ago, and I can tell you that grief never goes away. People think that grief is like a ball that gets, in a jar with time it goes smaller and smaller. But really, it's the jar that needs to grow bigger and bigger. It's about learning how to enrich our lives so that we can move forward.
It's like allowing God to show you that there's a future and that He's in it.
I agree. It's important to know that grief has got no timeline. It affects different people differently. Some people might feel it more in the beginning and some later on. And also important to note that grief comes in different intensity of waves. So don't be alarmed and don't feel frustrated if you don't feel like it's over yet for you.
Yeah, this reminds me of what my friend shared. She's going through grief counseling, and she said, yeah, the counselor said that the grief does come in waves, and what you need to do is to prepare for it. So you've heard of like first aid kits, right? Obviously, when you have a physical injury, the first thing you reach out for, first aid kit. So it's the same with emotional trauma, right? When you have that emotional trauma, you should reach for your emotional trauma kit. And what she says to do is to prepare ahead your emotional trauma kit. And the things you can put inside are things like scriptures that has helped you before, and naming 3 people to call, and naming creative activities, that helps you express yourself, like maybe drawing yourself in the rain, or anything that helps you express yourself creatively. That usually helps.
Wow, and you know what? You should not feel afraid to reach out to these 3 people, because you really need it and it really helps. It also helps to talk to someone who has gone through something similar. So don't feel like you're a burden. And the thing is, everyone needs help from time to time.
Yeah, and the thing is, especially with professional help, right? People think that it's such a taboo. Ooh, I'm fine. I don't need, professional help. But sometimes you really do, and don't feel ashamed about it. Like for my friend, she felt like she's come to a spot where she couldn't move further, she couldn't move on further. So she sought out professional help, and I am so proud of her for doing that.
Wow, good on her.
Yeah.
One other thing that also helped me was to think about my mom and how she would want me to live my life, and she would want me to move forward, and I don't need to feel guilty for wanting the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like my friend shared during her grief counseling, her counselor said that, sometimes when tragedy happens to someone, it's such a big and unexpected thing, right? That you're just disorientated for a while, and you don't know how. You don't have the first clue how to move forward. And so the counselor said what would really help is to reflect on your life. Think about all the big moments, God moments, your graduation, and you just begin to see that there's a pattern in the past, and that helps you to see that there is a future, and then that helps you to move forward.
Well, that's a really good practical tip.
Right?
Yeah, it's really helpful to just talk about it.
I know. Like just being able to express and just talk through things really helps.
Yeah. So, we hope for you guys, if you guys, found this useful too for yourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you still need someone to talk to, our pastors will be more than willing to connect with you. Just click on the link in the description.
Yeah, and if you think that this may help someone out there, share it.
Yes, because sharing keeps us growing, because we're always better together.